Hello YouTube, my name is Master Waffles, and I'm going to show you guys a quick little rundown of all the factions in Rome Total War 2, or Total War Rome 2. First one is Rome, located in Italy. Strength, honor, and duty is their motto. Romans have a little bit of a blend going on with them. They excel economically with their metalwork and enjoy enhanced military development. They can also exploit their masses in order to maintain public order and quell any disorder in the nation. The Romans are divided into three houses, the Julii, Cornelii, and Juna, with many different economic, military, and cultural benefits awaiting these three houses. The second civilization is Carthage, located in North Africa near Libya. Well, in Libya. Their motto is democracy, commerce, and faith. Carthage relies upon its heavy navy as well as its massive mercenary army, complete with African war elephants, sacred band cavalry, and the assortment of pikemen and archers. The Carthaginians also enjoy massive trade with other nations as well as colonial establishments in the Mediterranean Sea. The Carthaginians also have an improved level of population happiness overall, and are split into three major political powers, much like the Romans. The next faction is Macedon, located north of Athens and Albania. Glory, order, power is their motto. The Macedonians rely upon the armies that Alexander the Great has set forth for them in the past. Companion Cav, Thessalian Cav, they don't have a navy, so don't rely upon any naval tactics, and all the neighbors around them hate them because of the conquests that Alexander the Great led during his massive campaign of conquest throughout the ancient world. They enjoy bonuses to income and population happiness, their siegecraft is excellent, and overall their infantry-based military is superb. Their economy is also fueled by agriculture, forestry, and taxation of ports, as well as the exception being the gold and silver mines granted to the king because they're greedy bastards who need to put silver in their bathtubs while scrubbing their asshole. Fourth is Icenia, located on the coastline of Britain. Iron, conquest, pride. The Icenians revolve around a massive infantry-based army, but have light cav, and use highly maneuverable war chariots. The Icenians utilize javelins and raiding/looting tactics. I say slash because people think raiding and looting are the same thing, and they're not wrong. Whatever's. Ow. Their expertise in iron makes the resource a particularly effective form of income for the tribe, which is true, and because they're a warrior society, they gain more happiness for every single time a declaration of war is casted upon another nation. The Icenians also use slingers into battle as well, and they frequently tattoo their skin all over the place. Yeah, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. The next faction would be Arnivia, or Gaul, located in central France. Belief, dignity, and power. The Gauls enjoy improved income from their artisans, as well as expertise in gold work. In battle, their cavalry benefit from natural Gaelic horsemanship, and their charisma and fighting prowess from their kings makes them formidable warriors, and earns them diplomatic respect amongst the tribes around the area. The Gauls are heavily dependent on infantry, just like the Iceni, but they utilize tactics such as javelins, charge attacks, spear nobles, and oath sworn. The final of the Central European factions and barbarian factions will be the Suebi, blood, nobility, and courage, located in the heart of Germany. The Suebi are even more reliant on infantry and ambush tactics. Raiding is their predominant form of conflict, and they usually use lightly armored infantry units. And again, much like most our barbarian tribes, they use javelin-like spears, and swords are a rarity, although occasionally they will use spears and other forms of weaponry. Most of them don't wear armor into battle except for, say, a hexagonal shield. Because of their isolationist tactics, much like North Korea, the Suebi do not trade with anyone except for if there's a surplus in loot from war and a surplus in slaves. Suebis are masters of forced warfare and plunder. They have a diplomatic edge when dealing with other barbarians and excel at fighting lesser tribes. But because of their disdain towards other people, they face even more resistance in newly conquered territories. Next would be Parthia, or Achaemenian Empire version 3.2. Tolerance, justice, profit. The Parthian military revolves around nomadic, horse archers, and heavy cav. They develop distinctive bronze and iron scaled armor for both the horse and the rider, making their cavalry units very, very effective at close range against infantry units, even the sturdiest of pike. Their infantry revolves around ethnic Persian/Iranian hillmen, spear and skirmisher units, and sometimes even mercenaries that are armed and drilled in Seleucid fashion. Basically put, their cavalry are like tanks, but their infantry are kind of like snowflakes. Their economy is agricultural based, but they can trade along the Silk Road. Their capacity for trade and their cultural strength overall is massive compared to other civilizations, and because of their tolerance towards foreign cultures, that means newly conquered territories will suffer less resistance. However, because of this, they avert slaves altogether, which is both detrimental to newly conquered territories, their own economy, and public order as a whole. They're masters at marksmanship and cavalry, making them a force to be reckoned with, but their pikemen and base infantry very, very weak. Egypt, legacy, independence, power. You guys know where before Egypt. Egypt's military is a blend between Greek and Egyptian fighting styles, making great use of spear and pikemen, as well as skilled swordsmen, sized chariots, and more exotic units like African war elephants, which Carthaginians use. They also have a navy that can pose a threat to Athenians and Carthaginians. The next faction would be Pompous, which is a free DLC faction that they added into the game later on. Pompous is located in northern Turkey. Ambition, independence, profit. Pompous enjoys a healthy diplomatic dialogue with Greek states and successor kingdoms. However, because of their close ties with the Greek states, that means that their ties with other factions will be severely strained, especially in the east. They revolve around the military focused on warships and infantry, with bronze shield pikemen being a formidable military backbone, and their deadly scythe chariots being a very, very scary sight to see on the battlefield. Pontus remains one of the strongest Hellenistic states in existence because of their connections throughout the ancient world, due to their control of the Black Sea trade, exports of timber, precious metals, and valuable steel. Oh, and no one saw this coming. Yes, if you pre-order the game before it comes out, you get the Greek city-states expansion pack for free, which will give you Athens, Sparta, and Epirus. Now let's begin with Athens. Knowledge, wisdom, prosperity. Athens is located around the Greek islands, the 4,000 islands and stuff. You guys know where Athens is. It's like next door to Sparta. But anyway, as I was saying, Athens has a military focus of navy. However, they do have infantry and cavalrymen to support their land effort. However, it's mostly mercenary troops with spear-bearing hoplites supported by archer units. The trade is massive, and their great wealth and rich classical heritage makes them easy for newly conquered Athenian citizens to assimilate into the Athenian culture. The strong naval tradition makes them a force to be reckoned with in the Mediterranean Sea. However, their land units, as I said before, because they're mostly mercenary based, are very weak and poor, making Sparta easily able to kick their asses. But let's go down to Epirus. Growth, Legacy Command, located in Albania and north of Athenia, as well as Sparta. Epirus contains a massive assortment of units, from cavalry, archers, peltasts, pikemen, and war elephants. They also make very, very extensive use of mercenaries, and have a very diverse but scattered agriculture based for their economy. Most of their trade is conducted via fishing ports. Epirus is also a nation of great commanders, with its generals and admirals enjoying a greater command aura in battle. Their nation also gains increased income from smaller settlements, and because of their warlike past, they suffer major penalties revolving around diplomatic relations with other Hellenistic factions. Oh well, that doesn't matter, just ally with Persia and just steamroll Sparta. Again, I mean, obviously it's gonna work out if it happened the first time. Anyway, so here we go, the big daddy, the one you've always been talking about, the one you've always wanted to play as, Sparta. Discipline, glory, conquest. Sparta's composed of 3 classes: the Spartanites, which are the citizens which need to be in the army no matter what until the age of 65 when they become scholars and master chiefs; the Paracol, which are a class of free non-citizen merchants and traders which make up the bulk of their trading empire; and the Helots, which are basically slaves going around picking cotton and whatever in Athenian farms. Spartans are very brutal rulers, and because of their brutality they suffer less public discontent due to slavery than other factions. However, because of their focus on military trading, Sparta receives less benefits from natural resources, but their Spartan troops are excellent as hell, and they will seriously destroy your entire army of 1,000 Persian help. Anyway, so that is all the factions for now, actually, and maybe in future DLC they will expand upon this roster of factions. So give me a comment on what you guys think of, you know, the factions overall, and what you guys want to see in future DLC. Give me a like if you guys like the video, and subscribe for more videos on Rome Total War 2 and all other strategy games. I'm the Master of Waffleness, and I can't wait to eat some pizza. See you guys next time.